Hi, my name is Daniel Bader. This is Writing at Night, a student podcast for the Knight School of Communication at Queen's University at Charlotte. This podcast was produced for an employee identification assignment for the brand identity course and is titled You Are What You Eat, an examination of employee identification at Compass Group USA. Wait, you've never heard of Compass Group? You're not alone. Much like Procter & Gamble, the parent company of Charmin, Scope, and Head & Shoulders, along with numerous other household brands, Compass Group is the largest food service provider in the world. You've never eaten at Compass Group, but if you've eaten at Wolfgang Puck, or had a coffee or a sandwich at Au Bon Pain, then you've had Compass food. Compass Properties feeds students at private schools, patients in hospitals and nursing homes, U.S. soldiers in tents on battlefields around the world, and sailors on oil tankers. It's a big company. I met with Kelly and Michael at a nice restaurant in Charlotte. They're food connoisseurs, which is no surprise because they work for Eurest, the high-end corporate dining brand of Compass. It was also, fittingly, the meeting of their monthly podcast club. Kelly trains employees on standards that are forward-facing throughout Eurest. To her, the look and feel and food standards communicate brand identity to the employees.
Forward and that we're a company that's focused on first and foremost providing great food and having a great experience while you're in the cafe. So from the employee standpoint, they're everything, again, from their uniforms in the back of the house to the front of the house and their name tags that they should be wearing, all of that is outlined from the employee's side. As far as their understanding of it, a frontline associate, it's interesting. So we have an app now called Nudge Rewards, and it's a method of directly communicating with the front line, and I think that's really, really helped in communicating who we are as Eurest and who the bigger picture is outside of just their one home account.
Michael, who is a frontline manager, explains how client demands, locations in multiple states, and facility limitations hurt the company's ability to establish a brand, and leaves the employees with an identity disconnect.
Primarily what makes us different is that we ourselves know who we are, and we tell our associates who we are. And we try to explain it to a lot of our clients, but especially with the contract I work with, we have multiple states that we have to communicate with, and it's difficult to let these clients know what we can provide compared to what other states can provide, because we have a certain standard, whereas other states will provide a different standard compared to ours, and it crosses that line of what is the actual standard across the contract.
Kelly agrees.
That part is tough, just because there's the saying, I don't know whether it's good or bad, but if you've seen one Eurest cafe, you've seen one Eurest cafe. I mean, it's just because of the client demand, everything can be so different.
Corey is a communicator in the corporate office and is responsible for cohesion amongst the sales team. He uses the concept of family in his newsletters and podcasts to the sales team, many of whom telecommute and often work alone.
So a big part of what we're trying to do with those is just kind of make the organization feel a little bit more like a family. Because I think that's a big one, talking about kind of Compass's brand, one of the things I think of is they talk about being a family of companies. We have all these different brands, but they're all kind of united under this one mission of, providing great hospitality service, food and sport services to our clients.
Despite the outward-facing difficulties Kelly, Michael, and Corey identified, those overarching values, great hospitality, great food, and support services, were values the three could all agree on. They were givens for Compass and are an example of employee brand identity messaging that each has adopted personally. For Corey, who was a newspaperman before moving into his Compass job, it's the corporate values shared amongst the brands that he identifies with.
And I always kind of said when I was in journalism that I wouldn't want to go into any kind of corporate communications, marketing, PR, anything in that world unless I actually believed in the company. But what's nice about Compass is I feel like I believe in what they're doing, and they seem to be doing all the right things from as far as I have the pay grade to see.
Thank you for listening to Writing at Night, a student podcast for the Knight School of Communication at Queen's University of Charlotte.